Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I am 1 minute late for my own stream. You're early for once. Yes, you are. You're earlier than I am. How's everyone doing this Friday evening? Wait, part of why I was 1 minute late, there goes something off my desk. My desk is on the floor and I had to get it just right. I had to get something to drink. So, kept me delayed by 60 whole seconds. Let's get the blank canvas going. Hello, hello. How are we all doing? Let me get. Where is. First of all, where is the tab I use for my music? Because I know it's not playing. Where is it? Where is it? Play. That should fix that. Alright, we should have some background Animal Crossing royalty free music going. And second of all, where is. There it is, the random picker tool. So I'm back to doing sketch requests from the list. I pruned the list of a couple things I just didn't feel like drawing, but there are like 50 things or so on this list still, and I'm gonna use the random list picker tool to spin one and see what we get. Ever heard of Ghost? No. How am I? Great. Other than running late for my own stream by 1 minute, but it's fine. So, drum roll before I select the first thing of the evening to draw. Rerun. DDD. King DDD. Let me find him on the list and get rid of him so we don't roll him again. Beautiful. Alright, King DDD. That's a great, easy warm-up type of pick. So let me move this off screen. Let me get my... knocking things over. King DDD. Get my reference pictures loaded up here. Basically sound like Scooby-Doo chase music. No, not familiar. Alright, King DDD. Need a good reference. Maybe if I'm swinging the hammer. Or I like this one where he looks just kind of proud of himself with the mallet. Just pop it in for a little bit. Hello! Glad to have you for 30 seconds or 30 minutes or however long you feel like staying. Let me try to think of an interesting pose for him. Oh, I like this one where he's swinging the mallet. I like that. So maybe we'll do something like that. I'll pull up both of these side by side to look at as I draw here. Make sure it's not hiding my chat so I can see what I'm doing. Move that there. Move that there. Okay. Good warm-up sketch. I say, I've drawn today for some client stuff, but I haven't drawn anything fun yet today, so kind of a warm-up. Just a little bit of warm-up. Move this a little bit this way. Alright, this should be good. Alright, is everybody doing anything fun this weekend? As I adjust my screen for the 80th time to make sure everything's on screen. I think that should be good. Okay. It's me. I'm getting my nails done because they are a disaster. I'm doing that tomorrow. And my singing lessons. It should be a good Saturday for me tomorrow. He's got kind of a fat little beak. Let me figure out how his body should be twisting, flailing this mallet around. He's got one foot up in the air, one foot down. Body kind of twisted like that. Coworker broke their leg. Jeez. On the job or... Hopefully not on the job. Just going to work tomorrow. It's a bummer. I hope you get to do something fun soon. Or anything that's not work. Phone scrolling time is also an upgrade from work. Anything. I'm more or less copying the hands I see on the reference because I like this swinging mallet pose, but I want to change the head and the body a little bit so it's not just a carbon copy, and also stylize it a little bit. maybe exaggerate the shapes of things where you can sue and get a nice juicy payout. That's terrible though. I feel bad for them. Maybe make this a little bit chunkier of a star. Or you know what? Even better idea. We're going to erase this and just draw it regular straight on and then warp it to fit whatever the mallet looks like at the end. Let me get the mallet the way I want it to first. And then we'll draw the star and then distort and warp it and make it fit. I think that's better. Oh, it was your ice, or am I misinterpreting that? Well, I feel bad for the coworker with the broken arm. That stinks. The only cool part is you get everybody to sign your cast, I guess. Which is like, it's such a universal thing, I feel like. I've seen people talk about this in TikToks where it's like, they always wanted a broken bone because they wanted the attention and people signing their cast and stuff. And I never had a broken bone, but I always thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have everybody sign my cast? Never got that experience, though. Which is a good thing. Like, all things considered, getting people to sign your cast is not as exciting as just... or not as good as just not breaking the bone in the first place. Exciting is the wrong word. Someone decided to use a big jug. I was gonna say, I didn't think it was your ice, but just the way, like, you said me getting the thing ready. So I was like, wait a minute, was it your ice? I was like, why would you be admitting this to me on the stream? Distort this a little bit. I think that works. I kind of want this to be more circular. You know what? I'm going to start fresh with the mallet. I done goofed on the mallet. Let's think. It's like a big barrel. Think Donkey Kong barrel. And the end of it's almost circular. Like that. Think it's a big barrel. It's got the same kind of wood texture as well. And then this has like a border. And this is kind of like that. Alright. I knew I was misunderstanding that. Yeah. That's why I was like, that makes no sense to myself after I said that. I knew I was misinterpreting. Well, it sucks for everyone, it seems like. The coworker got hurt, you lost your days off. That sucks. Sorry to hear it. I hope your coworker makes a swift recovery and you get some time off soon. I think this needs to be a little bit further away from the mallet, just like that, just so the handle can be a little more visible here. And in the reference, he's swinging it kind of this way, so maybe I'll do that as well. And I like the way it's simplified. It's very like anime, where it's got like these motion lines that kind of extend from the thing. I kind of like that, so I'm gonna steal it, but also change it slightly. Or maybe do it my own style, so it's not in the same place and the same size and everything. Let's do like one here And a smaller one here. There's no lines coming like here. Is that enough to indicate swinging? No. Maybe I'll just do it the way I would normally do it. I was gonna rip off this idea, but not crazy about it now. Let's do just some good old-fashioned motion lines. Maybe we'll curve them a little bit. Then this one can kind of overlap. And these two can go a little longer to show this like real big swing. Maybe curved a little bit more. Like that feels about right. Alright. I think that'll do. Now let's figure out the rest of his head, face, hat, and the star situation. So he's got like a band of triangle shapes on his belly. And it's like a blue stripe and then a white stripe. And then in this one ref, it looks like he's got like a shirt underneath the like cape. And the neckline on the one ref is like it goes in like this, but then this other one, it's just straight across. So I'm gonna do kind of like a V-neck, rounded V-neck kind of thing to kind of get in the middle of both of those. Because it doesn't matter that much, but have the sleeve of this kind of swoosh over. Like that. The other sleeve kind of puff up like that. Also, drawing is the only proper way to draw. I appreciate that so much. That's like the biggest compliment to me is, you know, somebody was watching my stuff while they were drawing or being productive or whatever. Because that's what I use YouTube for. Is I need background noise while I draw or do something. So, high praise. I appreciate that. What are you drawing, by the way? What are you working on? This can curve in like that, and then this bottom part of this cape can kind of swoosh up like that. It is King Dedede, the one and only. And I didn't want to copy this pose too much, but I like it. I like the rough pose. It's good. When I ink it, I feel like I'll push these lines a little bit. I've been doing more like not quite Invader Zim inspired, but I don't know. I had a client request the other day for zombie pigs, and she wanted them Plants vs. Zombies inspired, but friendly and like, you know, kid friendly. For some like Halloween thing for some pumpkin patch. And they ended up looking a little Invader Zimmy, and I was like, it was like such, in the final art I did a little bit more of like straights against curves kind of, and the eyes were like this. And then she wanted it more like friendly and cute, so I smoothed everything out. But I was like, dang, I really liked the like straights against curves looks kind of thing. It was a little Invader Zimmy, and I liked it. So I gotta work that into more stuff I do. It's very satisfying. This isn't quite a perfect oval, is it? It's like it wraps around the band here. And then this has like a point to it almost. It's not a perfect like egg. Kind of like that. think if his whole body's swinging this way, the little pom-pom on his head would be swinging that way as well, wouldn't it? It's all kind of going that way. I think that's how physics work. If it's wrong and his head would be going the other way. I don't know, but it feels like his head would also be going this way, but I don't know. I like that it's kind of doing this. Everything's all going that a ways. You're finalizing some power designs in a game for a character of mine from a cartoon series idea you've had for the longest time. She has 3 powers: fire, ice, and water. You're sketching the water design. Sweet. That sounds awesome. What kind of character? Animal, human, fantasy creature? Something completely different? Machine? Plant? There's many possibilities for a being with multiple powers. And I like that the ref here has him looking a little devious. With like one eye big and one eye kind of like that. So I'll do the same, but they have theirs looking off like that. I kind of want to do more looking at the camera or what he's about to bash, maybe? Or maybe not. Maybe looking to the side is the move. That's so similar to the ref. I didn't want to make it that similar, but it's my own twist on it, you know? So I guess it's okay. Also, this should wrap around the head more, and the head should be lower. Should be like here-ish. Have this come up a little bit. The cape is pretty big on the body. And he's got more neck than beak. Like, this should be blue pudge. And the beak should not extend all the way to the edge. The mouth, whatever you want to call it. I'm saying beak because it looks like he's got a little beak. Is it also called a beak when it's like a turtle or a tortoise that has a similar kind of mouth? Kappa, whatever. I guess it would be a beak. It's not this pronounced either. I gotta squish this in a little bit. It's not this obvious. It's lower down like that. Yeah, I guess he's looking toward what he's about to smash with the mallet, so it makes sense that he's looking that way, huh? Well, we're just gonna rip off the reference and make it my own style and whatever. The girls are still napping. Hello. How you doing? And I'll be live for a couple hours, so if they wake up, they wake up. I think that looks okay. And maybe he'll have blue around. No, it's the Kirby style eyes, of course. Because it's a Kirby character. Where it's like this little sliver is the color, and then there's like a highlight up there. I hope I roll Waddle Dee too, so I can do like a Kirby stream. I mean, it's my stream. I can just choose to draw Waddle Dee after this if I want to, but... And nobody can stop me. But I do like the randomness of the list picker, so we'll stick with that. And then I want to sketch this star really quickly. And then warp it to fit the mallet. So let's do that. Doesn't need to be perfect, but more or less even points. That works okay. Let's take that. Twist it to the angle or the direction we want it to be, and then not warp, distort. It's probably the move. Just to make it fit inside the mallet. So all points come to the edge of where that border would be. That looks okay. Like, it's not perfect, but when I trace it, I'll make it a little bit more even. That looks alright. And then where can I spice this up to make it different than the reference I'm looking at? Add some more points, some thicker lines perhaps. Or not points, straights against curves. Make it more interesting. Let's see. She's human. She has a glove that she found from a mysterious junkyard, and she's unable to remove it for reasons unknown to her. Upon moving to America from Britain with her mom as a surprise by her mom, eventually due to the emotional struggle that it causes her, she discovers the glove has elemental powers that activate according to her emotions: fire for anger, ice for shy and fear, and water for sad. I like that. I like the emotionally driven power thing. I think that works really well. The magic glove too. It's a cool character idea. I dig it. Cool story idea. Is she the only one that's able to activate the glove? Like, is she special, or is it just she was lucky enough to find it, or is that revealed later? Is that part of the larger plot? I kind of want this to be like a straight line and then a curve. I want this to be bigger and his head to be smaller because he doesn't look as chunky as he should. So his body and everything should be bigger and his head should be smaller. The head is like half his body right now, or like he's like 2 heads tall. He should be a little closer to 3 heads tall, so something like that. That looks a lot better. That looks much better. And then I'm able to put more of that cape wrapped around his head too. That looks more like the King Dedede I know. Chunky. There we go. If you're trying to make a character look large, make the head small. That always works. Everything else by comparison will look very small. Or will look large. I mean, you know what I mean. Head small, everything else big. I think that's working. I think this is just about ready for me to ink. I don't think I'm going to do lineless color for this one. I'm feeling like heavy ink on this one. So let's do that. Dry ink. Thank you. It's only her who wields these powers, and the glove. The origin of the glove is a mystery that the show will reveal near the end. You'd go more in depth about the show idea. It's hard to do here in YouTube chat. Well, you've provided enough to intrigue me, so whenever you've made some progress on the story, the art, whatever, feel free to email me or social media me at whatever thing I'm on, and I'll reach out. I'm curious to see. If you feel like it. You don't have to either. I'm just curious. I like to know what people are working on while they watch my stream. I think that's cool. If anybody's ever watched any of my videos or streams and they've went out and drawn something themselves, then it was all worth it. And plus I like to see what people are doing creatively. I'm a big advocate of like people, like even people who don't consider themselves creative should just draw stuff and put it online for fun. I think more people should do that. I would love to see like my friends and family who don't draw or do anything creative, if they just like on their Facebook or Instagram or whatever just put up something they doodled. I think that would be cool. I want to know what everyone's drawing styles look like. I'm curious. Or make music or whatever creative thing they feel like putting up. I'll shoot you a message, or I'll shoot shoot you a more in-depth synopsis of the show and some of the artwork you've made at some point, yeah, definitely reach out. Love to see it, read it, whatever. Since Paint Boss is out, is that the name of the boss, like Cake Boss but Paint Boss? Is that show still on there? Anybody know? Cake Boss? Or did everybody get tired of the cakes just being fondant covered Rice Krispie treats with toothpicks in them? I think everybody got sick of that. But maybe I'm wrong and Buddy's Bakery is thriving. I don't know. The Castle Crasher thing where you can make OCs. It's out? That's exciting. I thought you were talking about your actual boss and that was like the nickname. My mind's never fully here when I stream because it's split between me drawing and talking, but like it's extra gone today. I'm so sorry. People say they can multitask and I've been victim of saying I can multitask, but I think they've proven that multitasking is actually like kind of a myth. And your brain can kind of only actually focus on one thing at a time. So you can see in real time the shift between me drawing, muscle memory when I'm being really chatty, and then when I'm like locked in and actually focusing on drawing and I go dead silent. It kind of makes me wonder if, what's his name? The Disney animator. Milk Call. If he was onto something. Everybody who's read the is the Animator Survival Guide? Yeah, that's the book. Where there's the intro about Milk Call and they ask him like, well, what do you listen to while you animate? And he blows up on the guy. He's like, do you think I'm smart enough to do two things at once? Like he just works in dead silence. And he was maybe the greatest animator to ever live, so maybe he was onto something. But I love listening to music while I work, and I like talking when I work, but I wonder sometimes if that's holding me back and I just need to get fully in the zone and just draw for a few hours with nothing. I wonder. Let's see. You gotta follow your Twitter account. Yeah, you haven't missed much. I'm so bad about posting on social media. And I said last week I was gonna upload everything. That's on my to-do list for tomorrow morning before I go to my voice lesson and go get my nails done, is post some of the stuff I've finished semi-recently on stream and actually make like Instagram posts and post on Twitter and stuff. I'm just terrible about it. I have no consistency with it. But to my credit, I've been busy. I just finished a book project for a client that was taking forever, and some other projects that were just like gumming up the works, so next week will be nice and chill for me as well. Before it all kicks off again, because I got two other people who want me to do big projects that are like, we can start in September. I'm like, yep, we sure can. I'll think about that in September. Looking forward to it. Let me have the rest of August to just kind of do nothing, please. Thank you. Get the most out of my summer. And by nothing, I mean a bunch of smaller projects. Circle. Come on. Okay, that went better than I thought it would. I was like, I'm gonna have to redo that about 10 times. That one okay. That one went okay too. Wow. Thanks, Procreate. Now these I want to kind of be not perfect curves. I want them to kind of be straight lines that do that. And then I'll erase the overlap. Just because I think it's a little more interesting. The star I think can be curvy. I was going to try to do this, but I don't think it would read as a star as well if I did that, so we'll just keep it nice and curvy. Maybe with pointy ends to make it a little different. I mean, I guess they're pointy ends on the official art, but they're slightly rounded. Looks more like a flower than a star. Bring that in a little bit. Is that more starry? It's okay. I think people seeing it in context of it being King Dedede's hammer or mallet will know it's a star. And with color, if I ever feel like adding color. Not today. Alright. Erase this overlap. I feel like I'm falling off my camera again, but I can't be bothered to check. I feel like I'm always like on the edge of the circle. I don't know how that happens. It's fine. I'm curious to see about what I roll next. I did take a few things off the list because I looked at them and I didn't know what they were, and then I googled them and I was like, I don't feel like drawing that. So, but it was only like 3 things I took off the list. I can't even remember what they were because it was a few hours before stream. I looked over it and I was like, let me just prune this a little bit. And there was some duplicates. There was some stuff on there that I had already drawn and not removed from the list, and you know, so I got rid of like 3 or 4 of those things, and then like 3 things that were on the list that I was like, I don't want to draw that. I think there was one that I didn't want to draw that I left as like a challenge. It was like Paul Atreides and what's her name from Dune. I was like, I really don't want to draw like humans, like people, but like if I do roll that, I'll figure it out. Like I'll do like a little golden book style thing to push myself a little bit. So I left that one on there as like the one I don't want to get, but it'll be a good challenge for me. There's some other like humanoid ones I was like, I don't feel like doing that. But everything else on there should be fun. It's just that Dune one. Watch, I'm gonna roll that next. I'm waiting for it. It's like, 'cause I don't even like Dune. I haven't seen the older movie. I haven't read the books, but like the newer movies are like, the first part was so boring. The second part was less boring, but still like I have no interest in rewatching it ever again. So it's just like, that's not my thing, man. But cool aesthetics. I'll give it that. Some cool aesthetics. I like a big desert. I like the big worm guy. He's cool. I like the way the spice looks. That's neat. That whole black and white whatever on the other planet is kind of cool. You cannot get me to care about what's happening in those movies, but they're nice to look at. That's not my nerd thing. I think we all get assigned a nerd thing that we're into, and mine was Lord of the Rings, and I found that early in life, and now I don't like anything else. It's like, no, I've never seen Game of Thrones. I don't care, you know. I got my nerd thing. I'll do my Lord of the Rings rewatch every year, and that'll be good. I don't need anything else. Thank you. And some people got Dune, and that's okay. I feel vindicated now because not Dune, Game of Thrones ended so badly that it like ruined the whole show for people that I know that were like obsessed with it. I was like, see, this is why I tell you, you can't watch a show until it's done, because 90% of these shows get canceled in the first season or 2 anyway, so you got invested for no reason. And then if it does last, you don't know if they're going to stick the landing or not, you know, completely ruin it. Like everybody said, the ending of Dexter was horrible. Ending of Game of Thrones is horrible. That was how many seasons? Like 6 seasons? You got invested for that? So folks, just wait for the show to be over. See if it was worth your time or not. Especially with anything decent getting canceled in the first season. Like, even if it had promise, that's just the business model now. It's just Netflix or Hulu or whoever just pours a bunch of money into 60 different first seasons of things. And then it seems like the lamest stuff goes on forever, like Big Mouth and Stranger Things, like long overstayed their welcome, right? But yet, I don't know. I don't know who's deciding where the money goes at Netflix, but and then we'll do, I guess, this brush. And then we'll fade it. I didn't even like Stranger Things from season 1. Like, it was alright. Like, I like Winona Ryder. Beginning and end of list. The, like, 80s nostalgia thing has been old for a few years now. The kids are all, like, 40 years old now. They don't look like kids anymore. Like, I don't know what they were thinking going on so many seasons with that, but I'm glad Winona Ryder's getting money and work. Good for her. It's 90s time. Yeah, I think we're even like we're borderline to 2000s time. Like I'm seeing more 2000s like Y2K nostalgia anymore. So I think we like skipped over 90s. Are we? Yeah, it's not a thing I'm into. I just don't understand why it's gone on for so long. I'm not a hater so much as I don't get it or like I'll talk actual smack about Big Mouth because I think it's gross and bad, but I just wasn't into Stranger Things, and I think the 80s stuff is past. You're free to unsubscribe for that. That's valid. The first season had some cool, like, you know, the visual of the lights lighting up and the mystery of that. Like, the first season had some stuff that was interesting, and then I just lost interest season 2 and then just never kept up with it after that. So maybe I missed out on some really, really good TV in those later seasons. I'm sure there were moments that were awesome, but it didn't grab me. You made it. Hello. But the floor is yours to defend Stranger Things if you would like to. You don't have to, but I'm curious if I missed out on, like, you know, season 3 was like the best season of TV ever that I just never bothered to give it a chance. But also you're talking to somebody that like hardly watches TV anymore anyway, so I wouldn't take it to heart. How's it going? Just gonna do some cell shading here. You like it still, but the first season was the best. Girls are up on his way. Have a good night. Just finishing up King DDD here, and then moving on to the next random sketch. This one's a little bit more than a sketch now, isn't it? It's kind of finished. Cell shading, grayscale, whatever. I will change... You know I won't. I'll leave that white, and then that's how it would look white. With the shading like that. It's pretty cute. Oh, you're still watching? Cool. Alright, I think that's a pretty good King DDD. And it's copying the reference, but it's not a direct copy, so I think that'll do. So I'll leave him on the screen for a second here while I take a drink and get my... Where is it? My random picker. Where did it go? Okay, here we go. The layout I have on my screen right now is horrible. There's the list in the bottom right corner, and then my 2 references overlaying that, and then OBS, and then YouTube, and then Google. You lost your number. I don't understand the crowns at all, because I feel like normally Leafy Kitty is like the most active chatter in here and doesn't have the crown. So I don't know if it's like most messages in the last 30 minutes or something. I don't know. I have no idea how it works. The story of Stranger Things was very intriguing to you. Season 4 was crazy for the story. Season 5 is going to be the final one that wraps everything up. Well, I hope that after you've invested all this time into caring about the story, I hope the ending is everything you dream it will be. King DDD said the voice of Carlos Mencia. I forgot about that guy. That's him. That's not Carlos. That's King DDD. All right. Drum roll for the next thing. Copernicus Steam World. I don't know what this is. I didn't Google this before stream. I think I just assumed it would be something I want to draw, but let's see if I... Okay, it's like cartoony. Okay. I've never heard of this game or this character, but cute. Let me find some good reference here. Let me close all this King DDD out. You started watching around season 3, so you weren't waiting as long as usual fans were. Yeah, that's brutal when you have to wait for new episodes. Ugh. Like, I guess it's different when it's the streaming model because you just wait for the season, then you can binge the whole season. But I had to wait for new episodes of Breaking Bad every week, and then they'd take a year and a half off, and that was brutal. It's a robot. Yeah, she's cute. Was this one of your requests, or do you just know of this game? I like the reference of her floating with the book. Oh, that's fan art. Let's see if I can get some official ref of her doing a different pose. I like the thinking, like the pose. Maybe we'll do that with her like looking at her little magic book. Yes, that was your request. Oh, yeah, the Steven Universe requests were horrible. Or not requests, hiatuses. Half a brain working. Yeah, this is a cute character. Okay. Relief, because I saw Steam World and I'm thinking steampunk. I'm like, somebody requested something with like 800 gears on the hat and 50 belts, and I'm gonna have to say no on that. It's gonna be a no from me. It's a no from me, dog. Okay, I like this. Where's a view? The book has a single gear on it. That's fine. Okay, we'll get this fan art open here. And then this one where she's got her hand thinking like, And then this other full body one. And I think I'll combine all of these poses into like one where she's like thinking, looking at this magical book. I don't know what the book does, but I assume something magical. Make sure I can see her little feet in there as well. I think that's just how the artist stylized the little feet, but I like that. I'm going to steal that from them. Okay. I think I got it all lined up. Let's see. It's a furry alien or robot. If it's a furry alien or robot, it's you. Yeah, Magic Spellbook. Cool. Thankfully, with the new show coming, I'm sure they'd release a whole season at once. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. Yeah, hopefully it's all the episodes so you can binge. Have a binge night. Yeah, the Steven Universe stuff was brutal, wasn't it? It was like they'd take like randomly in the middle of a story arc, it would be like a couple months off, and then you'd get like drip fed 1 or 2 episodes. Like, why did they do that? I'm sure there was a reason. I can't remember now. But it was brutal. Or you wait forever and it's one of the episodes about the humans in Beach City, and it's like, I understand why these are like world building and there's no such thing as a filler episode, but it was filler, you know. Hope the episodes are longer than the usual 11 minutes. Yeah, I hope so too. You're really into only murders in the building and they take forever to put out a new season. But it's so good. Never heard of that. Is that one of your ghost hunting shows, or is it like a series, sitcom, not sitcom, fictional series? We're gonna use a softer brush because I'm less sure about this character because I've never drawn her before and she's a little complicated. So we're gonna use a bigger, softer brush to figure things out. Keep it real loose. Sometimes that helps me. So we're gonna do that. I gotta figure out how many heads tall is she. She looks like 4.5, if I had to guess. Like 4.5, 5 maybe. We'll do 4 because it's cuter. 1, 2, 3, and we could just crop it and make it like a portrait, and it'll be in like a fancy frame or something. Little shoulders are like that. Maybe some of the skirt sticking out. like here, and she's reading a book, her magic spell book. I'm gonna have to Google hand holding book when I just drew one the other day, but something like that. With her big glove. And then the other hand going like, And I love her because she only has 3 fingers on her hand. Thank you. Good character design. Finally. A humanoid. Well, I guess she's a robot, but you know what I mean. A humanoid character without an obscene amount of fingers, meaning the actual amount of fingers a human has. 3 just looks better for cartoons. It just does. I like the round gold glasses. Super cute. Let's see. I wonder if Rebecca will be limited with the LGBTQ themes. Very heavy, serious topics this time around, seeing as it won't be on Cartoon Network. Yeah, hopefully that takes the reins off her creativity. She's able to make exactly the show she wants. That would be awesome. Or they want. I don't know what Rebecca goes by anymore. It's a series of Selena Gomez and Martin Short and Steve Martin. Cute. It's a cute cast. She's thinking lightning bolt, or lightning bolt. I like the simple eyes too, where it's just like dots with little eyelashes coming off. It's really cute. I like her chunky pieces of metallic hair. I think the finger should go more by her mouth and be smaller. This is like poking her eye out. That's better. Do the other chunk of metal hair on the other side. It's a little bit shorter than her head, the hair. Oh, okay, she, they. Okay. That's what I thought, but it's been a while since I was part of any discussions about Steven Universe on the internet. I never even watched Future, which is, like, I used to keep up with Steven Universe, but I never, like, kept up with Future. I don't know why, I just can't be... This is what I'm saying, is I barely watch TV. So if I say I don't watch or don't like something, really do not take it personally, because I don't watch anything. Last thing I watched was The Sopranos, which I was like 800 years late on, so. And it is as great as everyone says, but it still took me that long to watch it. I am not the TV authority, by any means. Wrong person to ask for Rex. Girl, you gotta watch Future. I know, I gotta watch Future, I know. Becoming a monster, then turning normal, going on a long drive out of the city. I'd watch that. It sounds good. I have no reason not to. I just haven't. You thought it felt rushed as an ending? I guess I'd have to make my own opinion and watch it, but... I just haven't yet. There's so many shows everybody says is great, and I just haven't seen it. The last show somebody recommended to me that I actually like sat and watched all of, or all that was available, was not Owl House. What's the other one that everybody loves? Oh, Infinity Train, which is that the one that they pulled from streaming on Disney Plus? Like they just don't, you just can't watch it anymore. Because I really liked Infinity Train. I thought that was great. I was basically told, like, please watch this. It's so good. I'm fine. And it was good. I liked it. Peer pressure and bullying does work. I enjoyed myself, but I think that's the one you can't watch anymore now without having pirated it or whatever. It's still going. You're the only Steven Universe hater. You're not a defender. Always Pearl. I like Pearl, but I also don't get too in depth in thinking about why she does the things she does, because it's like one of those characters that if you sit and think about her for too long, it's like, yeah, she's not great, but but I like her for the surface level of being, you know, the type of personality she brings to the show. And I think it's okay to have like a messy character that like doesn't always make the right decision. I think that's okay. But I haven't thought too deeply about Steven Universe in general in years, which is crazy because I used to make so much fan art and stuff. I used to sell a bunch of fan art in Redbubble. Some of it's still on there, I'm sure. Like Sunstone is still on there and some others. I used to spend a lot of time thinking about Steven Universe. It's interesting how they simplified the like this kind of collar where it's just a bunch of oval shapes like that, but it makes it read like one of those big fancy fluffy, I don't even know what you'd call it, collars. It works though. It's really good. Kudos to whoever designed this robot. She's really cute. Working out these little details and where they go. Then I'm gonna have to Google hand holding book so I get that right. Do a couple pages. Don't need to draw all bajillion pages to imply a book. Just need a couple in there. They're all messy, some more than others. Yeah, some definitely more. You're glad Future existed. Future only exists because Rebecca was told in order to make a movie she had to make more episodes, despite the fact that... That's smart. I didn't even know about that. I thought it was just a different story that they wanted to tell with the characters. Is this even how a book looks? Like, sometimes I get stuck on like the simplest things that I'm like, oh, I know how to draw that, so I didn't look up a rough and just kind of winged it. And now I'm like, do I remember what books look like actually? Like, it's kind of a square book, yeah. And then it's got a gear on the front. I don't think it has a gear on the back, but it would have these little ornamental corners like that. I might put the gear on the back just because. And then we'll have some kind of magic swirling around with some little swirly magic goodness. I don't know. We'll have the book glowing or something. I don't know. Then we'll have a cool light source to reflect off her metallic head and glasses and everything. We'll do grayscale shading on this. I'm not going to do color, but it'll look cool. Let's see. But now there's no need to feel sad about the rush part because there's going to be a new show. Cool. Also, Garnet is seemingly confirmed to be coming back because Estelle and Rebecca were recording. Nice. It's a shame that she blew the budget for, was it Sugarlight? Which fusion was it that was Nicki Minaj? Because it's like, you don't have the budget to get Nicki Minaj to come back as a regular character. It was cool they got her for the one, though. Because Nicki Minaj was huge at that time, too. Like, she's always been a big star, I guess, but she's had her internet beefs and troubles and tribulations, especially the last couple of years. But she was huge right around then, so it was a good casting choice. It was interesting, but you can't get her for more than one episode, so Now, some excellent casting was Jinx Monsoon. I thought, for what I can't remember which fusion she did, but see, this is how long ago I haven't thought about Steven Universe. I just remember who they cast. I don't even remember the characters' names. I was just like, oh yeah, Jinx Monsoon was on that. Oh yeah, Nicki Minaj was on that show. Finn and Marceline, so she based. I can see it. If Sugar had ever returned, they could have just recast her. They recast Bismuth at one point. Yeah, they should just find somebody who sounds close enough, you know? I keep making the mistake of picking up my drink and getting water on my tablet. Stop doing that, me. Jinx is gonna come back since she voiced Emerald. That was it. The gem that was Lars and his crew. Oh my gosh. I keep getting condensation on my tablet. Stop. Alright, let me Google right now because it's gonna upset me when I get to it. So let me just rip the band-aid off. New tab. Hand opening. Hand holding book. Opening book. Hand holding book. It's not quite what I was looking for. Not quite what I was looking for. Hands, plural. Because I keep getting like a single hand, like one person holding it from like... I guess I could do that, but... Nah. Okay. Go back to the previous results. We'll figure this out. Maybe I should do the one where it's just one hand opening it. Now I can't find the good one I was looking at. Oh, jeez. Okay, I think this... Alright, that'll be fine. Let me print screen that. And then flip it horizontal. I could just take a picture of my own hand in a book too, but like... Whatever. It's faster to just sit here on the computer and do it. Okay, I think this will work. I'm gonna do a new layer really quick to work this out. So it doesn't get too messy on this, because this is all one layer. All this sketching, even the detail, is all one layer. And it's just me figuring it all out. So, hand here, one finger here, another finger underneath, and a third finger underneath that. And then the thumb is on the back of the book. And the hand is moved to where it's kind of over the spine, like that. I think that makes sense. It kind of looks like this third finger is like tucked underneath the hand, or maybe underneath the book to support the weight of the book. I think that's fine. Like, it looks good enough for sketch purposes. And then we'll make that arm a little bit longer to compensate for that. Where did my ref go? Where'd it go? There she is. It's okay still, and then we'll have a little bit of wrinkles in the gloves, and then the glove can be here. Honestly, with the wrinkles in the gloves, it kind of hides any of the weirdness of how I draw hands. Squish it in a little bit, maybe, like so. This finger can come like wrap around the spine, and then this is like holding a book. I think that's how it would work. Looks good enough for me, and then we'll do some... I like the hatching lines for shading. I think I'll do that instead of doing cell shading. Just do some hatching. Or maybe not. We'll see how I feel after I ink it. Her arm is a little shorter than that, so maybe if I bring the arm here, that makes it shorter. That suits it. Here we go. Okay, cute. And then next up, she's got like her torso part that goes there, and then got this little pink and black skirt. Maybe I will do hatched. I don't know. And the skirt has cute little wrinkles in it as well. Like so. And we'll merge this down here onto the sketch layer and just figure out all the other stuff I haven't figured out yet. You can do a lot of interesting like straight versus curved stuff with this because it's a robot, so it's gonna be like that anyway. Sorry about the ding. And she's got some lines on her head. To indicate her robotness. And her glasses would be a little smaller than I've drawn them here. So it's not completely clanking into and touching her hair, which makes sense. Something like that. A pretty short bridge on the glasses. I guess this one's gonna overlap her hair, and that's just gonna have to be how it is. And maybe her head should be a little bigger, but we'll fix that in a second. Neck. It's all solid black with the shading. More of that funny collar. Extending there. And it's just two of these bolts or whatever on the upper body, so we're spacing them out a little bit more. And there's another one here. You gotta get doing some other things. It was nice watching you. Happy drawing. Thank you. I'm glad you could pop in for a bit. Hope you have a good rest of your night. How are they drawing the rose, this artist? Better than I am, say that. I need to get good at drawing roses. That's all I'm thinking as I draw this. I'm like, I have no idea how to draw roses. I'm doing my best. I think that reads as a rose from far enough away. Like, it's fine, right? Not my forte, flowers. It's fine. Good enough for me. Do this leaf like so. The leaves I can get really into this straight and curvy thing. And the hat as well. There's a lot of fun, like, straight against curves stuff going on with this character. Okay, I think that's a good base. So let's lower the opacity. And get to inking. Let's do triangle. Let's see if this is too thick. That's about right. Let's do the smallest size of this one though. Maybe, is there something in between? It just snaps to these two. I guess this one's okay. Just use a lighter hand. I'll be erasing a lot of overlapping lines for this one, I think. I got focused. Robot Wizard Yell. I can tell I got focused because I looked up at myself and I'm like falling out of the circle and my head's doing this. It's like a dog when you ask, like, you want to go outside? And they're like tilting their head. Hmm? This is a cute character request. Thank you. And it's good. It's good, and it's lucky that you're here for this too. Because sometimes I'll do these requests, and the person who requested them either isn't here or never shows up again. And it's like, well, I drew your character. I'm sorry you weren't here to see it, but this petal here is like a joke. Like this doesn't even look like anything. Whatever. It's a rose. Guys, it's a rose. That's a rose. I'm convincing myself more than anyone. Your powers are far beyond both our understanding. Yeah, you've been here, I think, every time that your request gets randomly picked, too. I think that's the case. That every time I've rolled one of your requests, you've been here. I was lucky that when I did, I think, whatever, DJ Candy or whatever from My Sims, that the person who requested it was there, right? Or were they not there till the week after? I don't remember. That was a lifetime ago. That'll be a chunk of metal on the side of the head. This will be the actual head. Here. Another hunk of metal for the hair. We'll round it out a little bit to make it a little bit more hair-like. There we go. And then the person who requested Vita the Vet was here, I think, when I was doing Vita the Vet as well. It's the luck of the request. It like sends out a beacon or something, letting the person know that I drew their thing from the list. If only it could work on lotto numbers. Yeah, I wish. Hit the Mega Millions. If you win the lottery, just hire me to be like one of those Renaissance artists that just live in like the little shack on property, and they just paint whatever the rich person tells them to paint. They had those back in the day, right? They live in like the garden shed and they're just like the painting gimp. Like the ones I employ in The Sims to be the ones that make all my money for my family. Yeah, one person's just gonna spam painting masterpieces while nobody else in this family works or will ever work. That's how it goes. That's a lot of demis. Yeah, just endless Renaissance paintings on demand of Demi Wolf. I'm gonna do one more petal here. I feel like I'm making a face like this. I don't know. I can just feel that I'm making a weird face when I draw. Here, you just paint my cats all day. I would do it. I'd paint like giant royal paintings of them in silly outfits. Painted the Castle Crasher thing? Yeah, shoot me an email and remind me because I will forget. I owe my dad and my sister artwork currently, and I haven't started either because I was busy with other freelance stuff this week, so that's a next week's agenda thing. But next couple weeks will be a little chiller because I don't have any books or big projects I have to work on until September, so next week will be a good week for getting smaller jobs done. If you send it to me, I'll flag it as important in my email inbox and I'll get to it as soon as I can. So you can send it whenever. And I'll work it into when I'm not doing anything. Next couple weeks will be okay for getting smaller stuff done. It was like the last couple months I've had one book that's taken me ages. And I have another couple that want to get started September, October. Okay. No rush here, no hurry. Don't say that because then I'll never do it. You gotta put a deadline on me. I'm gonna tell myself by September I'll have the sketches and preliminary work done on both. I have the time now. I'll make time. Yeah, if you tell me no hurry, it's gonna get put on the back burner forever because there's always deadlines on Fiverr and with book clients and stuff, so just have to get it done. Working on the same book still. One of these days. Maybe a whole series. This one book I just finished, the person wants to do like 10 more, but they haven't finished writing them yet, so that buys me a little time. I'm like, okay, I'm happy to do them, but you're gonna have to give me a breather. They're like, oh, I haven't even written book 2 yet. I'm like, okay, good. Take your time. No rush. September, October is good. Yeah. I'll take care of you September. The year is flying by though, so if I don't have some vague deadline, it might be 2026, you know. Blink and it's gonna be 2026. It's at least cute characters for you to draw. Yeah. By December. Before your birthday, how's that? And I kind of want to contain this all in a background that cuts it there, so I'll leave that there. Sorry, I just went stone cold silent for a second. Gears turning. I'm like, do I have anything else big to do? No. Not right now. Yeah, the year is flying by though. It'll be Halloween next week, and then Christmas the week after that. It's all going so fast. I am doing this on a different layer, and okay, good. I was like, if I just did this all on the same layer this whole time, I'm gonna have to call it quits on this one for the evening. I would just have to turn my tablet off and be like, you know what, I'm gonna see y'all next week. Bye. Then I gotta erase all those overlapping lines, like these. Get these nice curves and straight edges. I don't want her finger quite that pointy like that. That's fine. And let's do this little collar detail here. Make it a little imperfect, I think. That looks cute. Do the bolts here. And these kind of have little, they're not perfect hexagons or anything like that. They're just a little janky. I think that's cute. Do a couple of those. Alright, that's looking good. I'm gonna hide the sketch layer. Look how much stuff I have to erase. Wow. And maybe I will just do some hatching and then I can make this all like sepia tone, monochromatic brown for like a cool kind of steampunk color effect. And I can move on to probably the final sketch of the evening. Yeah, it's getting to time. I could probably squeeze in one more sketch. This one's coming out really well for how fast it's come together, though, I think. And I'll do some sparkles in the form of, I think, chalk brush, because it can look nice and soft and weave its way around, you know? I think that'll look cool. And I'll do some heavier lines where things overlap or would have a little weight to them. Or like cast a shadow, so maybe like here. And like the underside of this would be a little bit heavier. I think that'll do a lot of the quote-unquote shading for me. But I'll on a new layer, I'll try some like hatching so I can turn it on and off and see if I like it or not. Okay, I think that looks okay. That's looking all right. All right, so let's add some line weight to the undersides of things where there'd be a little shadow or a little weight to those things on the underside, like so. The glasses are over the edge of the hat, which no, I'm gonna tuck them under the hat. Executive decision. I think it's cuter. And it makes the hat look comically big, which I think is cute and a good look. So we're gonna do that. I like that better, yeah. Yup. Do a little bit of shading into the brim of the hat. I want to define this a little better because this is making like a little tangent where you can't tell if it's the edge of the glasses of the finger, so we'll make it clear that it's the finger. Okay, I think that works. I'm gonna clean up this a little bit. Mess that up. Clean that up a little bit. What else needs a little bit of weight added to it? I think it looks okay. This bottom side of this hat could use a little something. Looks a little thin. That's looking okay. I'm not offended by any of the line weights I'm seeing. I guess maybe close this and add a little bit here. Okay. I think that'll do. And let's on a new layer try with the small drying brush. Let's do some of this hatching. I really want to try the hatching that's going on in this hat, where it's kind of like this. At least in the reference I'm looking at. It's like that, but it's like broken into sections. So I'm trying to think how they did it. Is it like... It's almost like 3 sections, so it's like this a bunch of times. And then to fill up the rest of the space, they did it again, like a second layer of it. And then like a smaller third one at the bottom. Something kind of like that. I feel like theirs looks better, but... it's like, it looks okay, right? I don't know. I feel like because I don't do hatching much, it's looking a little janky. Alright, we're going to veto that on me. Let's try just doing straight up cross hatching. That's easier for me to understand. And maybe it suits the straights against curves thing a little better. And it's easier to make dense, so I can like make it dense with more lines easier. Like that. Make it darker, easier. Just add more lines. That looks a little better. I'm gonna fix it so it's not overlapping everything, but I think that works. And that's the only area where it's like really like that. The rest of it's real simple. Like so. A couple lines like that. A couple straight lines just to add a little folds and wrinkles. And some character. The glove looks way better with just that little bit added. Sent. Thank you. I'll check that out after stream. There's also buttons on this glove that I didn't notice until just the second, but that's alright. Alright, I'll shoot you an email probably Monday, because I'm taking tomorrow and Sunday off to do absolutely nothing except get my nails done and maybe go to the public pool. Like, I'm not doing anything the next couple days. Brain off. So I'll get back to you Monday probably. Except to like, maybe I'll send a reply and just acknowledge that I received the email, you know. But brain power will not be expended until Monday. But thank you for reaching out. Do whatever you want, it's Castle Crasher. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun one to work on. Do a couple little hatches in the leaves here. Then a couple in the hat. I don't want to do too much on her face, just a couple lines, because I do want her to look more or less smooth and robotic and whatnot, but I think that looks alright. One second. Oh. Thought I was gonna sneeze. Hold it in? Okay. Crisis averted. Might be off from work. On Monday, you mean? Whoops. Oh, I did combine these into one layer before I did that. Well, we're just gonna roll with it. Okay. We'll clean up my mistakes on one layer. It's fine. It's fine. It would be more work to hit undo until they were not a merged layer. than it will be to just erase on the same layer. It's fine. It's a happy little accident. There we go. I want a frame for her to exist in. Maybe it'll just be some janky Nico roll painted with messy edges kind of box shape. And then the things that don't fit in that shape, I will just erase. Like that. Alright. We'll lower the opacity of that for right now. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I have to erase, I guess. Actually bring the opacity up. We gotta erase all the stuff in here. This will all come together pretty quick, so I'm just gonna change the color of everything to be kind of brown, sepia, monochromatic, what have you. Hello, how's it going? Redo that. I don't know. I don't know how I just undid what I just did there, but fat fingered the tablet. And this isn't gonna be perfect, but it'll look cool, I think. And this should actually be... Oh, that would be her collar, so whatever. It's fine. I should add some ovals. There we go. It's going alright. Good, glad to hear that. Doing anything fun this weekend besides watching this high energy stream? I guess it doesn't matter how the bottom of that box looked, huh? If it's all gonna fade out. Oh well. And then a trail of magic I wanted coming off the book, but that'll take like 2 seconds. Watch and see. So you're doing requests? Yes, I have an ongoing list of requests that I randomly pick from, and this was one. I can't remember this character's name. Copernica? Yeah, Copernica. From a game I've never played. But this was requested like, what, months ago? And it just happened to get rolled now. So if you have any requests you would like me to add to the list, I'd be happy to add them. And the chances of your request getting pulled depends on how many's on the list. I think there's like 50 on the list currently, so your odds are okay. Maybe even less. I think maybe closer to 40. And I specialize in more cartoony stuff. Okay. I think that works. We'll change the background color to like a more neutral something cream. And then we'll alpha lock this and paint this some kind of bronzy, taupey, natural, rusty kind of thing. And then we'll do the same here. We'll do like a dark brown for everything here. And then do, or maybe this should be like super dark. Nah, I liked it before. Kind of cream paper texture kind of deal. And then we'll do some happy little magic coming out of the book. We'll do it on like a glow layer or something. We'll do like this Bonobo chalk glow and then like a little happy trail of magic swirling around. Just making a cool shape. I don't know how the magic works in this game or whatever, if it would do anything like this or whatever, but just wanted to have something sparkly and magical involved. And then we'll change this to, I don't know. Ooh, add is kind of fun. That looks very glowy and warm. I like that. Let's do that. And then we will also paint on a couple sparkles just for the fun of it. Everybody likes sparkles. I certainly do. Just on like the corners of... That's cute. Isn't that special? That came out really well for like, what, 30, 40 minutes of doodling? Luca from Mother 3? Yeah. I can add her, or her, him, whatever. Sorry, my brain's not all here. I will add them to the list. Lucas from Mother 3. Mother 3. Added to the list. I will copy and paste this list. I'm going to do one more request this evening. I think this one turned out well enough that I'm happy with it. Copernica from SteamWorld, if anybody wanted to know the character in the game. Alright, so I'm going to do a little drum roll here. And hit run. No, don't... Sorry, this is not the right list. This is not the one that I fixed, is it? Oh, that's a different tab. Sorry. Okay, this is the one. I like deleted because it said Moomin. I've drawn Moomin on stream before, so we're not going to do that. Okay. Ready? Drum roll. Avatar The Last Airbender / Avatar The Other One dual stream. That's a whole stream idea. We're not doing that. What? That's an entire dedicated stream where it's like half Avatar The Last Airbender, half Avatar The Blue People. That's an entire stream by itself. So one more. Third time's the charm. Cat riding a skateboard. I can't remember who requested this, but thank you for requesting cat riding a skateboard. That's exactly what I'm going to draw. Okay, cartoon riding skateboard. Let's get some ref. I think that's the only like generic request left because I asked people, I'm like, if you just have a regular request like, you know, cat wearing a pirate suit or something, hit me with that. And I think that's the only like regular request that made it to the list was cat riding a skateboard. But bless you. I'll do like 90s skater outfit too to make it extra fun. 90s skater clothes. I want to do like... I'll know it when I see it. Beanie is a must. Cargo pants, you think? Radical cat. With the shirt tied around the waist kind of grunge thing. That's cute. It might be a little overkill, but... You saw a guy at work who was wearing the Rocco drip. Oh, like his button-up shirt? That's sick. Alright, well let me get the pose sketched in and then we'll work out the clothes after that. I think this turned out really cute. I love the... I'm really into lately the all neutral color scheme, and I'm like kind of kicking myself because I just put together like this whole minimalist capsule wardrobe that's like a lot of black and gold and green. And now I'm like, I kind of want it to be all brown now, but I've worked a couple brown pieces into it, so it's not a total waste. Anyway, that speaks to me aesthetically right now, the all neutral, warm, like coffee shop colors. That's what I'm into right at this moment, so. All right. He has Rocco shoes too. That's sick. I kind of want to do like stylized, like, ooh, maybe Parappa the Rapper would be like good style influence for this, because I'm thinking like it's the hat's like covering the eyes or something. Okay, let's channel Parappa a little bit. I just have a vision of the cat where like the beanie's covering the eyes. And I know Parappa's beanie isn't covering his eyes, but he's a cool 90s animal with a beanie. So I feel like that's good. Good inspo. He's got kind of the moves I'm looking for, the style, the swag. He was ahead of his time with the super tall beanie as well. It looks ridiculous in real life, and I don't understand why people do it, but it looks cool in Parappa. Like, Justin Bieber's always doing that, where the beanie is, like, 8 miles tall. I don't know why people do that. You look crazy. You look like a Smurf. Okay, we're gonna redo the head. And since we're figuring it out, we'll do big, fluffy brush. Makes it easier to figure out. That worked well with the Copernica, huh? Where I like took the time to figure her out with a big soft brush, and that kind of made it easier. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I just have a vision of like, and the nose is here, and maybe a big like Cheshire Cat smile kind of thing. But he's chill, so it's only like half of his mouth. So he doesn't look evil, he just looks like chill. He doesn't need to see what's going on. He can skate just on vibes alone. He doesn't need to know what's going on. Got his ears sticking out of the hat, so you know he's a cool cat. We'll do the extra tall beanie. We're talking about it. Like how Parappa's is just shaped like a cone or something. So is this just kind of an off-brand Parappa OC? Maybe. But I call it drawing inspiration. You gotta believe he can skate. Okay, now let me see if I can get this pose from this ref in a way that's... And the ref is just some, like, crappy clip art. But I like the pose. It's silly. I like the skinny legs showing, too. And the skateboard is just this, like, long hot dog. That's not how skateboards look. I'll fix it, but... The ref I'm looking at, the skateboard's crazy. The skateboard looks like this, like, long oval. But I like the two legs on the board pose with like the one hand grabbing the board thing. I think that works well for the radical pose we're looking at. I'll Google skateboards in a minute because it's not going to stay this horrific shape. But I like the wide bottom pants. I guess if they're cargo pants, they'd have a pocket up here too, huh? Have one sleeve flying up like that. And then this other arm's sticking up way out here, like, yeah, man. He's a cool cat. Not to be confused with the cool cat. And his tail is just like doing its own thing out here. Maybe he's got a big bushy tail. It's kind of like making cool shapes over here. I need more points. I need zigzags. I need edge. I guess the tail would be more up if he's like flying down back to Earth. The tail would be kind of like upward like that, huh? Attach the cyclist. Skateboard. Skateboard. Underside. You love this, cute. Thank you. More edge. Not that kind of edgy. I veto the 10 belt characters on this stream. You know this. It's like one of my 2 rules. I don't know what the other one would be. No Final Fantasy characters with 800 belts. And just no realistic people in general. How about that? This still looks too long for skateboard, but like he's kind of long and funky, so I feel like if I lean into it and make the skateboard long and funky, it looks less funky in a bad way. You feel me? Do it for a charity event? Yeah, it'll be the April Fool's stream as I just do like Final Fantasy characters and like dragons with like 800 belts. I don't know how wheels and things look on a skateboard. That's way too big. They should fit on the skateboard. Because my understanding is that the wheels actually fit on the skateboard and don't stick too far out. So we'll do that. Okay. You can stick out a little bit, it's fine. And we're lazy, so we're just going to copy and paste the same wheels. But we'll make them look cool in the final art. And then there's like a little bit that sticks out here. Don't know why it's doing that, because it was on a different layer. There's like the bit where it gets nailed in, or screwed in. You can tell I was a skater and ran with skaters. I know so much about skateboarding, guys. Okay, I think that's looking alright. Yeah, people should request more of these generic requests because there's more room for... Like, I like having the prompt of just cat riding a skateboard and then I have to figure out how to make it look cool and fun. There's, like, wiggle room for how you can interpret it. I think that's kind of fun. Because you know my whole sermon I give about the best creative exploration comes from having limits, like a prompt. But it is fun when it's a little more open-ended sometimes. Because it gets your wheels turning in a different way. It's like, okay, what kind of cat? What kind of outfit? Okay, skateboard, 90s, you know. But there's tons of ways I could have approached this. This is just the way I chose to. The ends on the skateboards kind of curve up. That would help the look of it. Yeah, you're right. Here, we'll stylize it by like bringing it up there. I don't want it to be perfect, but because like the lip would be or whatever, the end of it would be a little bit more subtle than that, wouldn't it? Let's see. It would be much more delicate, like round like that, but I kind of like having it be like a round rectangle just to be a little bit funky and different. And we'll do the same on this side. Maybe the end is rounded, but the little corners are like round rectangle. Like that. That looks alright. It's like funky. It doesn't need to be perfect. But I think this is a good start. And then he can have like... I want him to have like a smiley face or something cool on his shirt. Wasn't there like a 90s where it's like winking, smiley, 90s. Yeah, it was like a be happy smiley. I'm sure it's copyrighted, so I'm not going to do the exact thing, but something like that. I imagine his shirt is like bright neon yellow, bright neon orange to pay homage to Barappa, cargo color, cargo shorts, cargo pants, whatever, or maybe blue jeans. No, they'd be cargo pants, so green. Orange, yellow, green. Yeah, I think that's a cool color scheme. We'll do a limited palette. Let's pick... I'm not going to finish it today, because I already am getting tired, but I do want to do this in color, so I think we'll do, like, bright orange for the hat. Is this on a new layer? No, it's not. Bright orange for the hat. I'm thinking, like, bright primary yellow for the shirt. And then, like, army green for the cargo pants. Maybe a little darker than that. And then the skateboard can have, like, yellow wheels. And be orange. And the cat himself can be orange, but, like, muted, maybe. Maybe. Or... Let me think. The cat could be white. That way everything pops. White or black. Black cat would be kind of cool too. Let's think. Black cat. And then the nose can be orange because we're sticking to the limited palette. Then the tail could be white with a black tip. That way you can see everything. Because if it's black on black, you're not going to be able to read it, you know? Visually. Or does it look too much like a skunk? It might look too much. Maybe all white. And then thick black outlines. So I don't want to do this lineless. I want to do this with like funky outlines. So maybe white is the way to go. We'll put this underneath because this is looking all crazy. White cat. Yeah, because that pops. That pops. And you can do this for the socks, I guess, could be yellow as well. Like that. And then this can be darker orange. No, I want it to be just as bright, but maybe a little more reddish, like that. White. White here. I'm feeling this. I need the bright yellow and the bright orange. I'm not budging on those, but I will take suggestions for the other colors. And this cuff on the pant would be a little lighter though. Just the exact same color, but just a little lighter. And then orange skateboard, and it can have a funky pattern on it, like some swirls or something, just to add a little cool design. Though aren't the undersides usually just like gray or something, but blue cat, let's see. You like the white? Jillian wants half giraffe and zebra. She calls it okapi. Aw. Tell her I'll do that on the next stream. Remind me. Have her mother text me to remind me and I'll take a screenshot and put it on my phone. I'll do that on the next stream. He's rad, something like that. Let's see. Underside skateboard. Because if the undersides of skateboards are usually just like, it can be a solid color. Or wood grain. Or a design. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. For some reason I thought they had to be like that dark gray. No, that's the top because that's where you put your feet. I'm a dum-dum. Alright, yeah, the bottom can be whatever. So we're going to do some squiggles. I think that works. Ooh, and if we do like a bright, funky background color for him too. Look how fun that is. I like the green with him. The green, yellow, orange. Like, it looks sick. I like that. I don't know if it'll be that exact color, but I'm feeling the energy of it. Dry ink. Let's see how much I can get done in the next few minutes. I don't know if I'll finish him tonight, but I would like to finish him at some point. Blue Cat, I was thinking about it, but I don't want to add too many colors. I like the limited for him. Keep him real simple, you know? Keep him very Parappa the Rapper. You know what I want to draw sometime too is my take on the Gorillaz characters. Because I've been listening to more Gorillaz lately. Like, that should be on my to-do list as well. So I'm trying to do more designs that I can do edgier, like pointy shapes with, and I'm like, Gorillaz is that. They're all pointy. Everyone's fave, in a bag. Oh, in the bath. Oh, Murdoch from that one video. I'm in the bath. I think that's my sister's favorite is Murdoch or 2D. From, shoot, Saturn's Bars. That's the video. That's a fun one to fling your cursor around the 360 video for that. Is cool. Pasta Samurai, I liked it. Ace from Powerpuff Girls. Yeah. I think that's so cool that they brought him into the band like that for just that one like arc of the story. And that it's been a continual story. I need to sit and watch like a YouTube video where somebody's put together the whole timeline, because I only remember Gorillaz exist when there's a new album or when I randomly feel like listening to them on Spotify. And I don't know all the lore. I just know visually what all the album eras look like. But I'm sure somebody's put it together in a YouTube video and I'll just sit and watch it sometime. The 8-hour video essay on all the Gorillaz lore. 2D's your fave, he's a cutie. Old Damon Albarn. Cleaned up my act. But yeah, I've always liked that sharp style, and my sister could probably attest to this. Do you remember when I used to draw almost exclusively with straight lines too? Like, I just had that as my style for a while, where I was just only drawing with straight lines. That was a brief window in time, but I kind of want to lean into that because I like that. I like blending the straight lines with the curves. It just looks cool. Maybe these can be just two straight lines. And I had a very wispy, like when I was experimenting with Bic pens, I had like a very wispy thin line style for a while too. Like, I tried all kinds of crap out when I was just drawing. I was just drawing constantly. Alright, he doesn't look evil like that. He just looks chill. Maybe more to the side, like that. Yeah, that's a little better. And bigger teeth. There, that looks better. You remember? Yeah. I would do that with pen, and I would do it on Microsoft Paint, where I just had a very straight line style. I don't know what that was all about, but you just gotta play with stuff and find out what works and what doesn't. It was kind of fun on Paint because you'd use the line tool. Like, I'd make one line like that and another line like that and close it off and then fill bucket it. And that would be how I made my lines. It was such a process, but I love the way it looked. I thought it looked really good. I'm kind of doing a faster version of it now, really. It was such a time-consuming process. But I loved it. Getting off for a bit. You have a good night. Peace. I'm not long behind you anyway. It's almost
9:30 Eastern, so peace. Have a good one. Now I'm just determined to get most of this line art done. I loved back in computer lab, you could like sign on to other people's accounts really easily. Because this is before schools understood anything about computers, computer safety, passwords, anything. But it was really easy to get into somebody's account, and they would just have me go into their account and draw something and save it to their files on Microsoft Paint during computer lab when I was bored and when they were bored. So I would just draw like wolves and cats and stuff and save them to people's accounts. And I remember I drew one time. I drew like a wolf or something, right? And this kid next to me, I can't remember who it was for the life of me, it doesn't really matter. They were like, "You didn't draw that, you just got it off the internet." And I was like, "Watch, I'll draw one right now." And I did. In like the next 30 minutes, I drew another one in front of them. And they're like, "Okay, so maybe you did do it." It was really funny. I wish I had any of that stuff saved on like a hard drive or something somewhere. I drew so much stuff. It would be nice to have it these days. Let's do this nice pocket here. And it's funny because I normally didn't get kids, you know, talking to me about drawing anything. Most of the time people just left me alone. But it was at one time they were like, "You didn't draw that." I'm like, "Yes, I did. Watch. Watch me." Memories, yep. I remember that's all we did in that class, and then watch Happy Tree Friends and make awful PowerPoint presentations with like 50 different sound effects and all the transitions and word art. That was awesome. I love that we wasted so much time learning about PowerPoint. Like, you can be a slide deck designer now, that's a real job, but you're not going to be using the cash register sound effect or the word art or any of the skills we learned in that class. It was a joke. An absolute joke. That was cutting edge for the time, I guess. I was playing Neopets in that class. I wasn't learning anything. But, you know, joke's on them. I ended up sitting on the computer playing Neopets and drawing cartoons for a living anyway, so. Doing the same stuff that I am now, really. I am not making PowerPoints with the cash register sound effect, though. Yeah, I kind of like how I stylized that. I don't know, I might sleep on how I stylize the hands and change them, but for now, I like how that looks. For now. We'll come back to it. I might come back to it and hate it with fresh eyes, you know? Same with The Bear in the Big Blue House. I want to revisit that as well. Maybe in the coming weeks when I have less stuff to do. Just want to get this outlined here. Mom used to have this checker Farmville on the school computer. I remember that. That lady was having me check Farmville when I was in college working at the library. That's a throwback. Or sending her items from different accounts like Phoebe and Link. To be fair, I didn't really do anything at that library job. It was kind of nice. Assistant librarian, you don't do anything. You help people check out books, and when people ask you where to find books, you tell them to just use the computer to look it up, and then they'd leave you alone. That was the entirety of the job. And occasionally putting books away. It was pretty nice. They didn't pay very well either, but that's alright. It took a few bucks off my tuition, so it was all good. I'm gonna come back to this with the wheels. The wheels are a problem for another day, but I like the soul of this. I like the vibe. I think he's coming along well. The lines are looking okay. They need some thickening up in places, but overall I think this is cool. I'd like to do like maybe an outline around him that's maybe an even more electric green, and then the green is a little bit darker. Like a messy whatever, just to add some pow. I don't know what I'm saying. Something like that, like real electric looking, you know? Eye blinding. Yeah, she was in, that was her life, was Farmville. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me. So I don't know who all is here, but I'll see y'all next week. Next weekend. Have a good rest of your week.